Tom, thanks so much for being here.
Great to be with you, Dan.
So tell me why the American Tort Reform Foundation considers New York City to be a, quote, judicial hellhole.
Well, I mean, the question is, why do we only get number 2? We are number 1 on so many categories. We are the highest for medical liability payouts. We're the highest for construction insurance. We are the highest on per capita tort tax, which is the cost that everybody pays for our system. New York City spends more on lawsuits than the next 19 largest U.S. cities combined. I don't know how we didn't get number 1, but we got number 2 from this national organization, the American Tort Reform Foundation, and we're perennially on this list. We're frequently here. It's been a long time. We're seeking, and our organization is seeking to get us off this list, try to get some fixes in the system so that we can bring those costs on everybody down.
So when you say that we spend the most on litigation, what do you mean? Are our courts clogged up? Are there too many lawsuits, I guess is what we're looking at? What does that mean?
Yeah, I mean, there's too many lawsuits and there's too many lawyers. We have more lawyers per capita than any other state. And you see this when you drive down the highway. You know, you see these billboards for personal injury lawyers. You see this when you're up late watching television and you see ads for trial lawyers and personal injury lawyers. We just have a lot of lawyers and a lot of lawsuits, and that costs us all a lot of money. Whether you're going to the hospital or you're driving down the highway, you're paying for this. And so that's why we're trying to bring those costs down.
So I have to ask, because the flip side of this is people might ask, well, we're so litigious in New York State, we have this access to litigation that maybe other people don't have in other states. And that unfortunately results in New York City being a judicial hellhole. But tell me why it's sort of a bad thing that we have this access to litigation that other places don't have.
Sure. I mean, it's important. Hey, if you are wronged, if you are injured through the negligence of another, you should sue them and you should recover. We're not trying to take that right away. That right is important. It's fundamental. It's constitutional. And we strongly believe that people should recover. But the numbers show that New York is far and away higher than everywhere else. I mean, the fact that New York City spends more than the next 19 largest U.S. cities combined should be alarming to everyone. Anybody who lives in New York City, but anybody who lives in New York, we're paying those taxes and we're paying for those lawsuits. And again, if you have a reasonable lawsuit to recover, go get them. Recover. We believe in that. But the numbers show that we're so far out of whack from the rest of the country.
You know, another side of this, the civil justice system in New York, we have this other problem where some people just don't have access to civil justice. And that's why we talk about things like civil legal services across the state. How do we create more access to civil litigation for people who need it without running into this problem where we're clogging up the courts with litigation that might not seem necessary or just may not be needed?
Yeah, I mean, one of the things that we've seen is the prevalence of these lawsuit loans that allow people to get money in advance of their loans. And I would caution anybody watching this to read the fine print. One of the things that we're advocating for is caps on the interest rates that these lenders charge. A study came out this August showing that these loans, on average, are charging 68% APR. 68%. The criminal usury rate in New York, for which you go to jail, is 25%. And yet, because these lawsuits operate in this backwater of regulation, they are on average charging 68%. So people need to be careful about loans like this. We believe that the loan should exist, improve people's access to justice, but they shouldn't get victimized again when the loan comes due.
So is anything on the table in the legislature to try to regulate the lawsuit lending industry? I was going to ask you about that. I'm glad you brought it up. Is anything cooking on it?
Yeah, so Senator Kaplan and Assemblyman Magnarelli have a bill to cap the interest rates, and it also does lots of other things. It provides transparency on these loans. It makes sure that the lawyer isn't actually involved in one of these loans. It allows for a lot of extra protections, but the key is the interest rate cap. And so we're thrilled with Senator Kaplan and Assemblyman Magnarelli for carrying these bills. It passed the Senate unanimously in 2016, back when the Republicans controlled it and Senator Ort was carrying that bill. Now we have the Democrats, and we hope that they do it again. I love Senator Ort still on the bill, and you actually have Senator Skoufis on the bill as well. So those two probably don't agree on much, but I'm glad they agree on this issue.
All right, that's something we'll be watching. Tom Stebbins from the Lawsuit Reform Alliance, thanks so much.
Dan Clark, thank you so much.